After the huge success of Elden Ring, a lot of studios have tried to make their own Souls-like games. Some turned out amazing, and others, not so much. 2025 is packed with some really exciting Souls-like games, and I can't wait to see what they bring. In this video, I'll share my top 5 Souls-like games coming out next year. First up on the list is Ballad of Antara, a dark fantasy action RPG from Infold Games. What makes this one stand out is its free-to-play model and the ability to explore a massive world by hopping between dimensions. You play as emissaries, each with their own unique abilities and classes, as you escort a young girl who might hold the key to saving the world. The combat leans more into hack and slash than traditional Souls-like mechanics, but fans of the genre will definitely notice some familiar enemy animations and movements. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and the world design looks like it'll be a major highlight. But since it's free to play, there's still a big question about how the monetization will work. Is it going to be a gacha game? We'll have to wait and see. Even with that uncertainty, Ballad of Antara looks like one of the most visually impressive games on this list. It's set to release sometime in 2025. Next up is Wuchang Fallen Feathers, a dark and gritty action RPG set in a twisted version of Chinese history during the late Ming Dynasty. In this game, a mysterious illness is spreading, turning people into monsters. You play as Wu Chang, a female pirate with the power of feathering, on a mission to uncover the truth behind the chaos. What stands out right away is how much this game takes inspiration from Software, especially with its combat. The parry system feels very similar to Bloodborne, and there are clear influences from Sekiro as well, but Wu Chang adds its own twist with feathering powers, letting you perform martial arts combos and some really cool moves in combat. The game also leans heavily into horror, with dark, moody environments that should appeal to fans of creepy atmospheric worlds. So far, we've only seen trailers and gameplay clips, but the combat looks really smooth, and the horror vibe is very strong. Wuchang Fallen Feathers is set to release sometime in 2025, and it's definitely one of the most true-to-form Souls-likes on this list. I'm really curious to see how it plays when we get some hands-on impressions. Next game we're going to talk about is First Berserker, a brutal action RPG set in the DFO universe. You play as a betrayed general on a quest for revenge against the Empire. This game might just be one of the hardest Souls-likes out there, at least based on the demo I played. The combat is fast-paced and heavily focused on parries, similar to Lies of P. There's a dodge mechanic, but it's not as reliable as you'd expect. It's all about timing and precision. One of the standout features is the posture system, where breaking an enemy's posture opens them up for critical hits. It takes some getting used to, but once it clicks, it's really satisfying. The boss fights in the demo were no joke. I spent hours trying to beat them, but every death felt like a learning experience, which is what you want in a good Souls-like. The game is challenging, but it's fair, and I'm excited to see how the combat evolves with more abilities and builds in the full release. First Berserker is coming out on March 27, 2025, and it's definitely one to keep on your radar if you're into hardcore challenges. The next game on the list isn't exactly new, but it's one that deserves a mention, the DLC for Lies of P. This game is widely considered one of the best non-From Software Souls-likes ever made, with many fans saying it came the closest to capturing that same magic. We've been waiting for this DLC for a while now. Originally planned for late 2024, it faced some delays, and the new target release is now the first quarter of 2025. While the developers haven't shared much, they did release a teaser image recently, which has only added to the excitement. If you haven't played Lies of P yet, it's a dark and twisted reimagining of the Pinocchio story, with incredible combat, a unique weapon crafting system, and tough but rewarding gameplay. The DLC promises to expand on this world, and I can't wait to see what's next. If we hear more updates, I'll be sure to cover them, so stay tuned. The next game we're going to talk about is Where Winds Meet, an open-world action RPG set in ancient China during the final days of the Ten Kingdoms era. This game mixes Souls-like combat with a heavy focus on exploration and storytelling, making it stand out from the usual formula. You play as a wandering swordsman in a world filled with political conflict, supernatural elements, and mysterious forces. Set in a fantasy version of ancient China during the end of the Ten Kingdoms era, the game offers a mix of sword fights, magical abilities, platforming, and open-world exploration. It's a blend of elements that fans of Wolong, Assassin's Creed, and Ghost of Tsushima will find familiar. The combat looks fast and fluid, with a mix of traditional melee weapons, martial arts, and even some magic-like abilities. From what we've seen so far, the game also emphasizes player choice, letting you carve your own path through the story. The world is vast and detailed, with towns and cities that incorporate elements like social stealth, letting you sneak around and avoid detection. What's especially interesting is that the game was already released in China on December 27, 2024, and it's set for a global release sometime in 2025. With its unique setting and mix of gameplay mechanics, Where Winds Meet has a lot of potential to stand out among other open-world RPGs. Now, I know the title says 5, but let's be real, we can't ignore Elden Ring Night Reign. This is the newest from Software Project, and while it strays far from the traditional Souls-like formula, it's still one of the most interesting games on the horizon. Night Reign takes the world of Elden Ring and completely flips the gameplay. Instead of the usual sprawling RPG, it's a mix of roguelike mechanics, hero-based gameplay, and even elements of battle royales and extraction games. You and a team of 3 players take on predetermined characters. Explore, loot, fight enemies, and survive 3 nights while a storm slowly closes in around you. It's definitely a bold departure for From Software, but I'm excited to see how they pull it off. There's even a network test coming up soon, so if you want to try it out early, make sure to sign up. It's a fresh take, and while it might not be for everyone, I think it's worth keeping an eye on. So, those are the games I'm most excited about for 2025. What about you? Are there any games on this list you're looking forward to, or did I miss one you're really hyped about? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on Souls-like games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.